Hey there, college sports fans. A large day for Clemson football recruiting for the class of 2027. Earlier in the day, there was a running back, Gary Walker, who committed out of the state of Georgia. Now there's a receiver from the state of Florida. Clemson's done pretty well with those through the years, and this is Jamarin Simmons, who's going to be joining the wide receiver room for Dabo Sweeney and the Clemson Tigers. I'm Bill Zimmerman. This is the Reign Supreme All-Way Podcast, Season 5.
I'm Daniel Shirley. Bill, did this one catch you off guard? I
Yes.
was kind of expecting the running back commit, and then I didn't even. I mean, we're going through some moving stuff with our son, and I'm working in the truck and unloading the truck, and you text me and said, "Hey, we got Clemson got a receiver commit today too," and I immediately pull up social media. What is he talking about? But then there it is, and Bill, we've seen this through the years, and even before we start doing this podcast, these things come in waves and cycles, and I think it's a perfect time to have a big wave, and they had a safety commit earlier in the week too, so this is three commits this week, and the official visit season is starting. So, is this a good sign for Clemson coming up? I mean, are we going to start to see some more offensive linemen? They've already got the quarterback in place, which he's been in place for a pretty good while. So, but man, it felt like receiver was one that they needed to hit on. And I think everything that I've read about Jamarin Simmons in the last couple of hours is that this is the kind of guy you want on the field. I don't know that he's the biggest. He's not Mike Williams, right? He's not
Right.
Sharon Peak. He's more of a slot guy, whatever, 5'11", 165. But boy, he's got some quicks, and he can go get the ball. I mean, I've seen some clips, people posting on Twitter, that I can't remember which one of the writers posted it, and it's him with a diving one-handed catch in the corner
That's
of
the
the end
one.
zone,
Yep.
right? And was that Grayson Mann? I think who posted that.
Can't
Was
remember.
is that right? So I think it was. So I definitely want to give credit to him if it was him. But
One of us was
it,
working today. I've seen less of this than you have.
but I mean, it's he's there. There's some quickness to him. There's some, what do people always say about Twitch, those kinds of things. And I mean, yeah, and it was Grayson that posted that. So I definitely wanted to give credit to him for going and doing the work to get that.
Yeah.
But there's some twitch to him. There's some quickness. That you look at the offers, who he picked Clemson over, Florida, Florida State, Auburn. There's more. Rivals has him as the number 19 flanker, or number 19. I'm sorry, wide receiver in Florida. The number 27 slot. I'm sorry, number 19, yeah, recruit in Florida. The
Start that
number
over.
27. Okay, yeah, I
Rebels
screwed that
has
up.
him as.
Yep,
Okay.
I screwed that up.
Okay.
Rivals has him as the number 19 recruit in Florida, the 27th slot. He's a 170 overall guy. I mean, and you can find all the other rankings, whichever one you choose and believe in. I just always go to Rivals and on three first, and then kind of go from there. But I'm excited about this. This team, Bill, it feels like this team has needed some speed and some more playmakers. And they've got playmakers. I mean, look at the guys on the roster now, but this is exciting going into this class coming up in December, February, whenever these guys sign officially and enroll.
Yeah. A little more maybe of a not quite the height of TJ Moore, but a little more TJ Moore, Antonio Williams, Artavis Scott kind of flavor
Yep.
to what he does. I would say you're right. He's not that big, tall perimeter guy. He's not T. Higgins, but Clemson has that lined up for the room with Gordon Sellers. Even when he gets here, you should still see potentially Wesco and Moore on campus, one or the other, or maybe both. You never know. There are really good receivers with height already in that room. There's another one I'm blanking on. Is going to be a freshman this year. I'm a kid out of Bowles, but Naeem Burrows. Thank you, Naeem
Nine
Burrows.
verse, right,
Yep.
right.
So you've got those roles, and then here's this guy who can kind of be that complement, that smaller size. But I'll tell you what, sometimes those guys are very good on the outside as well. As certainly Antonio Williams, when he was called upon to do that and able to do that, certainly shined in that role. So I think he's kind of a Swiss Army knife, if you will. He's not so undersized like a Ray McLeod that you can't put him out there on the perimeter as well. Tyler Grisham, let's also talk about his role
Yeah.
in the wide receiver room. Uh, a lot of criticism that he has faced through the years, but I'll tell you what, so many years in a row, he has gotten freshmen ready to play right out of the gate. And Simmons sure looks like he's going to be another guy in that line where Williams came in, played as a freshman, did great. Williams got hurt. Tyler Brown came in as a freshman, ready to play, did great. Then you had, Wesco, the second game of the year, really showing that, hey, this is how you stretch a defense. TJ Moore came on mid-year like that and really gave that receiving core a broader set of options. It's too bad Cade Klubnik and Garrett Rowley didn't really fully take advantage of that, but it started keeping defenses honest late in the year. I'm really impressed with what Tyler Grisham's resume has said. Hey, it's you cannot take it for granted that even at receiver, let alone any position, a guy can just walk in as a freshman and do a great job. You saw T. Higgins take a while. You saw Justin Ross take a while their freshman years. You've seen other greats. They're not all Sammy Watkins. They don't just all waltz onto the field and dominate games.
Yeah.
That is rare. So it's very good to see what Tyler Grisham is doing to get these guys ready to go and able to make an impact when they do.
Yeah, the Grisham thing is, I think maybe what, 3 years ago, there were a lot of people calling for his job.
Yeah.
And
And we
I
were
don't,
critical too. I'm not
we
going to
were
say it was only other
critical.
people.
Right, right. I'm not saying it was, I don't know that we called for the job. I think
Right.
we were very critical. And I think critical is fair, and sometimes calling for the job is fair. This is not a baseball episode, so we're not getting into that. So
Next, be sure to subscribe at youtube.com/Clemson Kickoff. It's free. It's the best place to catch all our episodes, and it's the best place for you to comment with your reactions.
but to the point of look how he's turned it around. And I think even going into the Wesco Moore year, when they first got on campus, there were people that still were kind of unsure
Right.
about Grisham. Oh, he's just a former player who's on the staff and he's not getting the job done. And that's fair. Believe me, I've been very critical of the friends and family plan as much as anybody, but you can't argue with the results now.
Yeah.
You look at the last, especially 2 years ago when they went to the playoff, but even last year, there were a lot of problems on this offense. It wasn't a wide receiver. When Wesco got hurt, TJ Moore really stepped up. Antonio was great. Brown was really good when he got his chance. And that cycle of these guys coming in, and we kind of talked about this a little bit on the running back, Gary Walker commit. There's a variety of guys. There's not all these guys that are the same guy.
Yeah.
And there's just this repetitive skill set to these guys. And I think you have to have those guys. You got to have Mike Williams and Artavis Scott, right? You got to have those guys. Now, again, Sammy Watkins, you put him anywhere on the field, he could do whatever.
Right.
But same thing with Nuke Hopkins. You could put Nuke in the slot if you want, and he would have been an All-American in the slot. But some of these guys are more based on their skill set, and I like the variety of these guys in this wide receiver room. I think it's gonna. I think it's. I don't think they're done at receiver. Maybe they are. I mean, they've got 2 commits at receiver right now. I
Right.
think they would probably add another one, but this feels like a really, really good get for this class.
Always nice to go into Tallahassee and get a guy, different high school than
Yes.
Ashton Hampton. And of course, Hampton was tight with his father was tight with Mike Reed back in the day. So there was a nice connection there to get Hampton here as an oversized cornerback who's very good in coverage. You look at Simmons, you've also got the other receiver you mentioned is Trey Wimbley out of Daniel High School. So I think he's regarded as a little better potential than your average, bring him on board. More of a Jaheim Lawson type than a Pierman type. Let's leave it at that. Then you've got Kareem Hughley coming in at quarterback out of Gainesville, Georgia. We had the episode about Gary Walker, the running back out of Georgia. That's a nice quartet to get things started. And once they start adding guys along the offensive line, we talked about offensive line mattering a lot for a running back, but it certainly matters for a receiver, not in the job they do, but in the ability of the quarterback to get them the ball, right? So the receiver's got to get in space. The quarterback also has to have space to operate. And that's why half the guys on offense are offensive linemen. But the skill position talent is certainly what we enjoy watching a lot more. We got about 90 seconds left. Where do you think this class stands, and are these the fits that you need at the right spots?
I think they're the fits. I think they got to get busy on the offensive line. And, we've seen Matt Luke recruit really well on the offensive line the last couple of years. They don't have any linemen in this class. They've got to get busy on the offensive line, and they got to get busy on the defensive line. They've got one defensive line commit. So you know how I feel about offensive and defensive line. I think you agree with most of that. So I think that will be the focus coming up these next few weeks.
There you go. I hope you're all catching our deep dive on the where Clemson football stands after spring practice, well ahead of where fall practice will get started and kind of what the needs are and where things stood. We had two great beat writers, John Blau and Chapel Fowler, join us for that. So I hope you're catching those, and we'll keep going, profiling these recruits, these commits as they decide to join the Tigers. And those will be some good videos also to keep up with and keep going during the actual football off season. So until our next episode, whatever it may be, and hey, there's breaking news coming along here and there as well. So we'll have our take on all of it, analysis for you right here with the Reign Supreme Always podcast, season 5. I'm Bill Zimmerman.
I'm Daniel Shirley. Go Tigers.